What's up, guys? Ben Byrne from My Sports Stop here with Richie Donnell. Richie,
Yep.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing real well. Today we're going to be talking about Mitch Trubisky,
Yeah.
quarterback from North Carolina.
Yep.
Let's start. What do you like about him?
In terms of liking him, you have the athletic ability, the high ceiling. Granted, he has only played 1 year. You can kind of teach him that
Yeah.
position. He is very accurate as well, which you need to be at the NFL level. So being accurate and being mobile are definitely two things that putting those together can make success at the NFL level.
I think one thing that really stands out in his skill set is that he extends plays
Yeah.
in the pocket.
Right.
It's almost looks like something out of Aaron Rodgers' playbook.
Okay.
Where he's going to step up in the pocket.
Right.
He knows his protection, so
Right.
he knows where to go. And I think, for a guy that's only been starting one season, that's an extremely valuable skill to have going into the NFL.
Yeah, oh, no doubt. I mean, and the thing with him is I think there was a lot of expectation put on him coming into this year that he did live up to, just because in the past couple of years he has gotten limited playing time, in blowout wins and things like that. But he performed at a high level,
Yeah.
so I think a lot of people kind of expected him to be able to come in and put up the numbers that he did, despite not having that experience.
He's also showed that he's very calm.
Yeah.
We've seen him, throw some big time passes,
Yep.
clutch moments,
Right.
and that's very important to have.
Right?
Obviously.
No, absolutely.
So now one of the biggest knocks on him is his throwing mechanics.
Yeah.
It's not the level of a player like Watson or Kaiser,
Right.
guys who he's going to be going up against.
Yeah, and for me, the thing is of all the guys in their yard per completion, of everybody in my top 10, Trubisky had the lowest, which worries me because at the NFL level, you need to be able to make throws from maybe the right hash to an out on the left side of the field. You need to be able to make those throws all the way back across the field, and that worries me because does he have the arm strength to be able to make those throws on a weekly basis?
I think another problem, he doesn't really use his eyes well.
Right.
What I mean is he stares down his reads. Usually, he goes into the play expecting to throw to one guy, and he does, and usually he there's some consequences. He has to
Right.
make.
Yeah, and I mean you see that a lot with young quarterbacks, whether it's just their rookie year or first year experiences, which he's gonna experience both in back-to-back seasons. This year being his first as a starter, and now next year as a rookie. Those mistakes are made quite a bit at that level, playing at such, like I said, a high level. But he's got to be able to make those reads. If Trubisky was the type of quarterback where he did look off of his targets and make those throws, I think his numbers would look even better than what they already do.
Okay.
Which is a huge concern because obviously, as you know, you can't be turnover prone in the NFL because one turnover is going to cost you the game.
Yep.
And that's just something that you can't do. And I think he's going to be the guy who gets thrown to the fire, similar to a Blake Bortles, who I don't think was necessarily ready, but they threw him in there and just said, hey, go learn. And Trubisky, I think, will be the same way, who will be allowed to make those mistakes. But I think in the long run, it could ultimately hurt him as well, because of the style that he does, being a lock-on quarterback.
Yeah. Another problem I think GMs are going to be talking to Coach Fedora about is, he's a redshirt junior, only a 1-year starter.
Right.
He was backing up Marquise Williams for the
Right.
past 2 years. And Marquise Williams, I mean, he wasn't a bad college quarterback,
Right.
but, I mean, for a guy we're talking about first-rounders,
Yeah.
why was he a backup for the
Right,
last 2 years?
and that was something that initially concerned me right away. Marquise Williams was, for the last 2 years, they've been talking about getting rid of him as the starting quarterback in North Carolina and benching him and putting somebody else in. But obviously there was a reason that they kept going back to Marquise Williams instead of putting in somebody
Trubisky.
else. Right. Putting in
Yeah.
Trubisky. And that, to me, is a huge red flag because if he had the talent and he was able to be better, and you're talking about a first-round franchise-changing position, why wasn't he the guy that they went to? There had to have been a reason there,
Mm-hmm.
and I think with scouts and GMs and everybody grilling him, I think that will eventually come out as to why. That'll be one of the interview questions.
I know I kind of say that Trubisky is a blank canvas right now,
Yeah.
but who do you compare him to in the NFL?
Yeah, I think he's similar to Alex Smith, and on my quarterback list, I had him ranked number 4 of all the quarterbacks in my top 10, and the reason being is because I don't think anybody would go back to that draft and still pick Alex Smith number 1 overall. I think everybody's gonna pick Aaron Rodgers,
Absolutely.
with what he's done. So if you wanted to go back and pick Alex Smith all over again, I don't understand how you can justify doing the same with this kid.
Yeah.
To me, he's a very similar carbon copy with the dink and dunk system. I think he could do well, maybe with a good running back behind him. But he just doesn't have that next level to me of maybe being an elite quarterback.
Player I think he kind of looks like is Mark Brunell.
Okay.
Brunell obviously had some very good years with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and honestly, I think Trubisky, if he's partnered up with the right offensive coordinator or offensive head coach, he could be a pretty darn good quarterback. Now let's talk about where do you think he's going to be going in this draft?
Yeah, like I said, with Watson and Kaiser and now Trubisky, the thing is any of these guys can switch with one another. I mean, all it takes is the right guy to like that player for a certain reason, and that's going to push him up the board compared to the other ones. So it's really hard to say. I think you got to start at number 1 with the Cleveland Browns, who need a quarterback, but then you're going to look right away at number 2 and 3, San Francisco and Chicago, who are both in dire need of a quarterback as well.
Absolutely.
But then you're going to look at the Jets, Buffalo, Houston. You're going to look at all those teams who have questions at quarterback, and at any one of those spots, he could go. He could even be a player maybe like an Aaron Rodgers who gets drafted to a team that might have a quarterback, understanding that, hey, we just want to get this guy, make him that type of, mold him to what we want him to be, and eventually maybe 2 years down the road become our starter.
I don't think he is ready to start.
Right.
But I think he has the highest ceiling out of any of the quarterbacks in that draft. This is my opinion. And I think he would I think he would benefit from going to a team that has a franchise quarterback, maybe the LA Chargers, maybe New Orleans.
Yeah. Both would be, good fits.
Absolutely. So I think he needs to learn from a veteran quarterback, an established quarterback, where he can kind of hone his skills in.
Right.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out more of our videos and our website, mysportsapp.com.